if you out there and you working 2 jobs, right? Here are some tips for you to be able to maintain through that structure, right? Number one, sleep right. Make sure you're getting some sleep. You know what I'm saying? You gotta identify what's the right amount of sleep for yourself. What's an ample amount of sleep for yourself, so that you can be able to get up and perform for the shifts that you got to work. So that's number one. You really want to make sure that the 2 jobs that you have leave you a little bit of time to actually get some rest, or else you're just gonna end up killing yourself, and you don't really want to do that. You know what I'm saying? You want to be able to make sure you can still give your body time to rest and recover and be able to perform for the next day. So, you know, and it's different strokes for different folks. I know me, when I was doing 2 jobs, I was doing an overnight job, and I was doing a day shift, and I would go straight from the overnight to the day shift, and so my sleep time would be in the middle of the day. I couldn't do that, because I can't sleep with the sun out. That's just me. That's just how my body functions. And so it was so hard that I would end up, if I got any sleep, it would only be like 2 hours, 3 hours, and that I couldn't perform off that at all. So you also want to try to, delegate the sleep. So maybe if you have time, whereas though one job starts and the other one doesn't start till later, maybe you try to split it up, get some hours here, get some hours there. You know what I'm saying? If that works for you, that's just another idea. What works for me is making sure I have 2 jobs that's back to back during the day. So morning, day job, and then second shift, what they would call it. So like of 4 p.m. to like 10, 4 to 11, or 2 to 11, something like that, or 2 to 10, something that ends, and I can come home and actually sleep during those night hours, wake up and get back to it. You know what I'm saying? That's what fits me best. That's what cuts well for me. So that's what I would recommend for other people who are trying to tackle 2 jobs and make sure that they get some sleep with it. You know what I'm saying? And also mix around with the other days of the week. I necessarily don't want to give up my weekend days, so I like to do both jobs during the week. That way I can enjoy my weekend a little bit without having to go to work or worry about that. Or maybe I get some extra work on the weekend and I can go get that money, since I don't have to do my main 2 jobs during the week. So that's how I do it. Number 2, eating right. Listen, this is so important. You cannot eat these terrible things and think you're gonna perform at a maximum capacity Monday through Friday working 2 jobs. Nah, you already putting yourself through 15, 16 hours of work, 12 to 16 hours of labor, you know what I'm saying, or work, whatever the case may be. You want to make sure you putting good nutrients into your body. That's healthy proteins, that's vegetables and fruits, that's a lot of not sugar, if that makes sense to you. You want to cut back on that sugar, man. It's terrible for your bones, it's terrible for your body, it's terrible for your joints, it's terrible for your thought process as well. You want to cut back on the processed foods, the chips, fries, this, that, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't serve you well. Not saying, people like to have their cheat days and do that in the third. No cheat days are better, but if you're gonna have a cheat day, try to do it over the weekend or Friday night after you get off. That way you don't feel the repercussions of that the next day when you go into work, because I promise you will. You know what I'm saying? So keep in mind your diet, keep a healthy diet along with eating. I'll say the drinking habits as well, and that not only goes into obviously sugary beverages and things that don't serve us well. You want to drink a lot of water. You want to drink things with electrolytes, like real fruit juices, you know what I'm saying, or just having real fruits and making them into a juice. That'll help you a lot. But also staying away from alcohol during the week or during your time of doubling your shifts, you know what I'm saying, because it doesn't benefit your body, and it's going to end up breaking your body down and causing you to perform a lot worse than you would if you hadn't had it in your body. And the only alcohol that is said to have some type of health benefit to it is red wine. I'm gonna save that for a different video where I'll break that down for y'all. But for now, just try to lay off the liquor and the alcohol and watch your body perform at its peak during that week. You know what I'm saying? During the 2-job time. You know, it's amazing. It's definitely amazing, and you'll see how much better you can perform without those things. Yeah, those are my top 3 for me when I'm performing and trying to do my best as far as like being able to work 2 jobs. You also want to keep a clear mental, which is number 4. You want to be able to keep a clear mental. So we all have things going on in life, but when you're doing your tasks and completing them, focus on the task at hand. Don't try to think about, what's going on here, or try to complete that. Excuse me. You want to try to make sure that you say, okay, sure, I got to make this phone call. Notate things that you have to do. Okay, I got to make this phone call at this time, or I got to meal prep when I get home. I got to do this, do that. Okay, cool. That has to be done. You can't complete those things at this time. So stop stressing yourself about it. You're just gonna run your head in a spiral. You know what I'm saying? And it's very easily to get to that point when you constantly working, constantly moving. You know what I'm saying? You just start thinking about things that's like, oh, I gotta do that, oh, I gotta do that, oh, I gotta do that. So stay focused, which leads me to number 5. Take notes. Make a to-do list. Write things down that you have to do, because none of us are like aliens or superhumans. We forget things. It's regular, it's normal, it's human, it's cool. Write things down. You got a lot on your plate. You work a lot of hours. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you writing things down so that when it's time to come back to it, you can say, oh, okay, I didn't forget that, and you can handle business. You know what I'm saying? So make sure you delegating that, and so you have time for those things. I think those are my top 5 for being able to successfully work 2 jobs and take care of yourself through that time. You know what I'm saying? Like, comment, tell me about what do you do to try to sustain your life and your livelihood while you working 2 jobs, 2 or more jobs. I'm sure a lot of people have different things and different tricks that they have up their sleeve to keep them going, keep them rolling, a healthy diet or whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? Make sure that you got those things together, and fill me in on what y'all got going on. I would love to hear it. Peace.